Hi, my name is Marshall, and I am going to continue in my little series of financial coaching on part of the steps working through saving, debt reduction, budgeting, and kind of answering the question, where the freak do I start with my finances? A lot of people are heavily in debt and they want to know, what can I do to get out of debt? What are some tools that are available to help me get out of debt? And I'm going to show you a simple example of how to reduce your debt over time and get some early wins so that you can feel good about yourself, feel about that you're making some progress. And through that, I use this little schedule here I call the debt reduction schedule. This here is made up numbers. We'll call her Silly Sally. And Silly Sally has a few debts. She's got a credit card with $200 on it, another credit card with $500 on it, a personal loan for $2,000. Her car loan has a balance of $5,000, a remaining mortgage of $25,000, and her goal would be to save $50,000 in savings. Now, these are just made up numbers, but you get the idea so you can see how to pay down on this. So we set this schedule up, and in the first month, let's say it's August, she pays $100 on her first credit card. She pays $200 on her second credit card. On her personal loan, she pays $500. On her car loan, she's paying $1,000. I know, what kind of car is she driving, paying $1,000 a month? Anyhow, for this example, just follow. On her mortgage, she's paying $2,000, and on her savings, she's just starting. She'd like to save $50,000. Now, this is a column, even though it's not a debt, I sometimes will incorporate this into the debt reduction schedule because you can see how as you pay off the different lines of debt, you will then be able to move that money to pay off everything else and then start just really ramping up your savings. So she's going to start with $100 going into her savings account. So her goal is $50,000. These are all just balances on the others. So if we add this up, the total amount is $3,900. So if we subtract all of this, credit card number one has a balance left of $100. Credit card number two has a balance of $300. The personal loan, $1,500. Car loan, $4,000. $23,000 on the mortgage, and her savings account, she's got a goal of $49,900 left. So month two comes along, and that being September, she pays off credit card number one. So there's no balance on that. Credit card number two, again, she's paying the same amount every month, $200. So there's $100 left. On the personal loan, $500, that comes to $1,000 balance. The car loan, $3,000 balance and $2,000 off the mortgage, bringing that down to $21,000. And another $100 to savings, so $49,800. Again, $3,900. And that's what's nice about this, is that this number doesn't change. It's a way you can budget it. You know that you've got to hit this number every month, whatever that number may be for you, but it stays the same. So month three, October, and just because she's paid off the first credit card, that doesn't mean hey, I got an extra $100 that I can go play with and go spend it. No, in this, what you would do is take that $100 and move it over to the next item. So $100 would go here, but she's paying $200 here. That actually is zeroed out here if she takes that $100 to pay off this. So now there's another $200 that would go over here, plus the $500. So subtracting 700 from her personal loan, that brings it down to 300. Again, 1,000 off the car loan. That's $2,000 left. The mortgage brings it down to 19,000, and another $100 into the savings account, 49,700. So just because this is paid off, some people call this like a debt snowball. I consider it like a waterfall, as it falls from one item into the other, so that in the third month, we've already paid off 2 items. Actually, we paid off in the second month 1 item. Third month, we paid off the second credit card. Now we're paying off personal loan, car loan, mortgage, and trying to get to that savings account. And again, in that, we didn't change the amount that we're paying. We just adjusted it over. So in the fourth month, November, we don't have anything. Credit card number 1. Credit card number 2 is taken care of. And credit card number 3, actually, if we're paying that next payment, well, 500 is what we have been paying, but we only need 300. So that's going to be taken care of. So we got $100 from this, 200 from this, and another 200 from here to apply over here. So 100 plus 200 is 300, plus 200 is 500, plus the $1,000 that we normally pay there. So now we are down $500 balance. So 2,000 here, $100 here. That's 17. That's 49,600. Again, we paid 3,900. And then just one more time, I'll show how this would work. In December, we paid off credit card 1, paid off credit card 2, we paid off the personal loan, and we got a balance here. Well, we only need $500 there to zero that out. So 500 plus 500 plus 300, it's 1,300. Do my math again. 5, yeah, 1, 3, 5, because we're only paying 5 here. So that's 13. So do our higher math. What does that come out to? 15? Sure. So now we've got 15,700 in the mortgage. Again, we're putting money into that. That's 49,500. We paid 3,900, and we're good. And so you can see how over time, as one item is paid off, you put it towards the next item or the next debt, and then you keep rolling them over until you've paid off all of this, and then you're putting all of that money towards savings or something else. Hopefully you're not taking on more debt, because that's what you're trying to do, is accomplish here, is get rid of the debt. But what you've done now is created a waterfall where one item pays the other, which then pays the other, and over time that debt reduction will happen. Now, a lot of times people say, well, I want to save the most money. Yeah, you could pay off the debt with the highest interest rate, but psychologically, we're more likely to enjoy the wins the early on, because pay off the smaller balances, because they'll make you feel better. You'll be able to get some endorphins and just get dopamine hits that come from, hey, I finally was able to cross off this debt and cross off this debt and so on. And as you cross off those debts, you feel lighter, you'll feel freer, you'll be able to do the things that you want to do. And so this is what I call the debt reduction schedule, and it's a great little tool to help with getting to your financial goals. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, or if you have any other suggestions that you'd like me to cover, I'd be more than happy to go over them as well. Again, this is Marshall. Stay awesome. We'll talk to you next time.